One part, most of you would know, but some of you may not have thought about it this way. So just a brief thing. Why is Adhika Mas coming here? Many of you have probably had holidays for, say, Eid ul-Fitr, Ramzan. Have you noticed that Ramzan comes on a different year after year after year? Anybody notice? Please raise your hand. So just a brief thing. Govinda Prabhu has kept some paper and pens here. If anybody is hesitant to ask a question, we can pass on the paper to them. We can take a small, tear a small piece out of it, write your question and pass it on to me here, and I will answer the question. In case you want to be anonymous, you can write it.
Vedic question.
So, is coming different on different months because in general there are 3 calendars that are there. There is a solar calendar, there is a lunar calendar, and there is a luni-solar calendar. The solar calendar is, if you say, for example, you can what we have been taught as children is we have the sun, earth revolves around the sun, right? So the earth takes some time to come around fully around the sun, one revolution. That takes 365 days. You can also do a different thing. You can take the reference as the earth itself and see how the sun moves. And that is this is called the geocentric system. The geocentric system, that you see the sun moving along on the basis of the earth, and there are 360 degrees in which the sun moves. And this 360 degrees is divided into 12 parts. These are called as 12 Rashis. Okay? So sun goes on the first Rashi, Mesha Rashi, Vrishabha Rashi, Mithuna Rashi, Kataka Rashi, like that it keeps going. Whenever the sun takes around 30 days to go, little more than 30 days, and then we come up with 1 month. That's how 30 times 12, 360 plus a little more, 365 days. So if you see the Malayalam calendar, they have the new year called Vishu. Same thing happens in Punjab, Vaisakhi, same thing happens in Bengal. That new year calendar is based on the movement of the sun. Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur has also given the names of the different months. Keshava Masa, Madhava, Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana. This is a solar calendar. This takes 365 days. The lunar calendar is what you probably have heard as Chaitra, Vaishakha, Jyeshtha, Ashara, Shravana, Bhadrapada, etc. etc. This lunar calendar comes when you take just the moon, how much time it takes to cover one full revolution around the earth. So earth moving around the sun takes one time, which takes 365 days. But for the moon to make one full revolution around the earth, it takes only 27.5 days. So you see, when you multiply 27.5 by 12, it doesn't come to 365 days. It still comes to 355 days. Okay? And then there is another kind of month, which is the Amavanta month or the Paurnamanta month, which is Paurnami to Paurnami or Amavasya to Amavasya. How much time does it take? That is the luni-solar calendar. Some people do Amavasya to Amavasya. It is called the Amanta. And another is the Paurnami to Paurnami. It is the Paurnamanta. So the lunar calendar and the solar calendar has a gap of 10 days. And every 3.5-4 years, we adjust it by having this additional 3.5 days to make an additional month. And the additional month becomes the Adhika month. If you observe very carefully, the months that our ancients have given very much correspond to even the seasons. So there is a Uttarayana and the Dakshinayana. Around this July 15th is when the Dakshinayana starts. And that is also the time when monsoon sets in. That is the time for when people cannot travel more. Usually people travel more for business. They travel to get things done. But when you can't travel more for business, what do? Then, at that time, come together and spend more time on spiritual activities. That is where the Chaturmas comes into picture. So the sages used to spend time in the Chaturmas saying, people are not going out anywhere. They are present in one place. So let me give the association which I have received from my spiritual master on to others. That is the utility of the Chaturmas. And they put the Adhika Mas also into this very same Chaturmas and it becomes 5 months. And that is why we are celebrating Purushottam month as part of this extended Chaturmas celebration so that we can grow spiritually. Now what do we do in this Chaturmas? I would like to share. So in the month of in Chaturmas in general, we should try to take up something by which we can deepen our Krishna Bhakti. First and foremost, we should take up the association of sadhus. And in the past, in the ancient times, sadhus used to come and stay near a temple. Even now, in many Maharashtra, they go and they say that my Chaturmasa camp is this particular temple or this particular kshetra, and they give their association. But we in Iskcon have become a little progressive. We have online association, we have association through lectures which are there on YouTube, SoundCloud, everything else. Something that I feel we all, although we are progressing lecture, very much missing here is, we do not hear enough of lectures, in the sense, or we have to learn a little bit more on how to hear lectures. When we hear a lecture, we try to take, where is this nice story coming from? We try to take a story, we try to get some sense of enjoyment for ourselves, and we try to tell others also the same story. Our life, in terms of hearing, becomes stories and stories and stories. That's nice. But we hear to understand the heart of the Acharya. What are the motivations of the Acharya? What are the sacrifices of that Acharya because of which he is able to speak in this way? So, many of you here are disciples of Purushottam Maharaj. Sometime in the 1980s, he gave a series of lectures, which I have heard a long time ago. And I still feel they are part of the Enlightenment series and a bunch of other series. That series of lectures is for the training of devotees, where he has taken what he got from Srila Prabhupada and he was giving directly. He said, this is what Prabhupada told us. He was giving it directly. My thought is, let us spend time in hearing those lectures and deepening our relationship with Acharya. When their mood and vision becomes our aspiration, then our hearts get connected. And that's the same in every relationship. Say between a husband and wife, between a father and child, between two people in an organization, when there is a unanimity in purpose, when there is a unanimity in appreciating the feeling with which the other person is saying it, then one becomes united with that purpose. We need to be united with that purpose. So that's a sacrifice that we have to do, which is, I may have my things to do, but there is an Acharya who has his vision. Let me let go of my things and do as what the Acharya says. This is our sacrifice. Letting go of what exactly we want, but doing what the Acharya wants. And in that, we slowly see we are blessed with strength, with realization, and with an inner peace and happiness, which would have eluded us if we had gone just saying, I want things to be done my way, exactly what I want. There's a difference there. And the more we appreciate them, we become like them. So, that's one way in which we can do Chaturmas. There is also so many vratas, so many fasts available, but not a Satyakant, who is going to speak a little bit more on the other aspect of the fasting or other vratas that we can take. There's a whole bunch of list which Shastras do talk about, but we thought let's elaborate one at a time here and just go back and forth.
Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravan Prasari Nirvisheshwar Shunyavadi Pastor Krishna. So as Prabhupada explained, the Adhika Mass, and there are different Mass, Kartik Mass. So why we celebrate especially on these months? Because we can enhance our spiritual activities. So we do some tapasya. Adhika Masa Madhya Kartik Masa. Adhika Masa Madhya Kartik Masa. ಈ ತರ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಮಾಸಗಳು ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ನಮ್ಮ ಭಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಯಾವ ತರ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಪಸ್ಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಸ್ಟೆರಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಬೈ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ತಪಸ್ಯ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೈ doing some efforts, we can enhance our spiritual strength or progress in spiritual path. So that's the aim of all the devotees, how we can progress in the path of this devotional service. For that, why we have to do tapasya or why we need to do especially on these Mass, either Kartik Mass or Purushottam Mass, because these masses have extra strength. It's like, let's say, when we chant one round in normal days, so in the Kartik Mass, it is equal to 1,000 times. So that's the benefit. So we are taking the benefit of these Mass, especially Adhika Mass. As per the Shastras, Adhika Mass is more powerful than the Kartik Mass. This is Purushottam Mass. There is a little story behind this Adhika Mass. Actually, generally, outside the Iskcon or in general, people consider this as a mal Mass, this extra Mass. So people suggest or they say that don't do any good activities, good things. So it's a bad. So that's why this month, especially, it represents the feminine. She approached Vishnu. So everybody is like neglecting me or they are not doing any good activities in month. So I'm feeling very sad or bad. Then Vishnu take her to Krishna. So then Krishna, consoled her and told her that don't worry, I will name this as Purushottam month. So I'll give my name to this month. So that's how this Adhika Mass become very special, especially in a Vaishnava Sampradaya. So we understand this month is very special and favorite to Vishnu and Krishna. So, and also Krishna, so there is some more story behind this. So that means Krishna has put all his strength on this month, and whoever performed even a small quantity of devotional service, that has become 1,000 times. So it is like His Holiness Jayapatha Maharaj mentioned that this is we have to, it's like a super special sale, super sale offer. So we have to utilize this, and in the Shastra there are how to follow this month. There are do's and some of them don'ts also is mentioned here. Those points I'll go one by one. Many of the senior devotees already know this, and anyway, we will once again go through all the points. Um, so these are the points I just collected from different Maharajas. That is chant more number of rounds than regular days. Regularly we chant 16 rounds, right? But in this month, we can chant like 24 rounds or 32 rounds, or if possible, if we get a time, Saturdays, Sundays, we can chant up to 64 rounds. Then another instruction, complete your fixed rounds in Brahma Muhurta. So our fixed rounds is, as per Srila Prabhupada, 16 rounds. That 16 rounds we have to complete the time up during the Brahma Muhurta. That is before 7 a.m. is better. Next is sleep on floor. Generally, that is little tapasya we can do it, but with proper bedding. Next is get up in Brahma Muhurta and take bath before sunrise. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಸೂರ್ಯ ಹುಟ್ಟೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆನೇ ಎದ್ದು ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಜನರಲಿ ಡಿವೋಟೀಸ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮಂತ್ attend as many as Mangalaaratis in temple. So already Prabhuji in last class also mentioned that so made some arrangements that if we come for Mangalarati every day, it is good. In Shastra also it is mentioned that we can attend Mangalaaratis as many as the temple. Then follow celibacy, brahmacharya. So at least in this month, here it is mentioned that we have to follow celibacy, brahmacharya. Offer ghee lamp to Lord one or two times in a day. At least one there sati ನಾವು ghee lamp na Lord Krishna ke ನಾವು offer ಮಾಡಿ. Read and meditate Balaveer of Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Generally devotees we read every day. At least in this month we can increase our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, especially Balaveer of Krishna. We have Krishna book, we can read Krishna book in this month. And
they are going to come now.
So can you complete this? So then do parikrama, 1 or 3 parikrama of temple daily. So when we come to the temple, generally we do 1 time or 2 times. This year is mentioned, at least do 2 to 3 times temple parikrama. And if possible, we can visit some pilgrimages. In the kshetras, we can visit. Then visit dham, take bath in holy kund or a river. So this is if possible. So we can visit some holy place and we can take bath in river. And eat regular meal but once in a day. I think it's a little difficult, but here it is mentioned if we really want to do some tapasya to enhance our spiritual progress. So here it is mentioned that we can take one meal in a day. So, but here it is mentioned also. So do not compromise on the name of austerity. So as much as possible, at least we can reduce it. Avoid oil food, use more ghee. So we can avoid oil foods and more oil in our foods. Then give donation to temple as per your capacity. So we are already giving. So in this month we can give extra, and those who are not giving, we can donate it. So because that will help our preaching activities. Do some fixed service. So in this month, we can do some fixed service. We may be doing not regularly, so we can make it regular, or we can take some fixed service and we can do sincere. Seva in temple as per your capacity and ability. So this is the general instructions. And there are some specific instructions from His Holiness Bhakti Damodar Swami Maharaj. Please read Bhagavad Gita. Maharaj is saying, please read Bhagavad Gita 50 chapter every day. So if possible, we can read an 8 chapter, or at least we can read 1 or 2 slokas or 3 slokas as time permits. Increase your chanting both quality and quantity. So sometimes in this month we increase quantity. As it is mentioned, if we do more rounds, it will become 1,000 times. But at the same time, we have to see the quality also. Do not eat grains. So as it's like whole month is Ekadasi, we can follow Ekadasi. We can take Ekadasi Prasad entire month. So read Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita daily. So anyway, many of us reading, but if you are not reading regularly, we can read Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita.
And sprinkle Radha Kund or Yamuna Ganga water on your body daily. So sometimes when we go to Haridwar and we buy some Ganga water, that if we have it in our home, we can sprinkle on us this Ganga or river water. Even Kaveri water also do. And every day sing Radha Krishna bhajans. At least one bhajan we can sing, either in the morning or evening. Then, especially in this month, no ideal talks. I mean, no general talks. We talk only about Krishna. And criticism are not blaspheming anyone. So we should not criticize anybody, especially devotees or especially those who are following Tapasya in this month. We should not criticize them. So this is from His Holiness Bhakti Samodar Maharaj. Then from His Holiness Jayakar Maharaj. So first point Maharaj mentions, note, health should not be compromised for austerity. So this is up to us how much our body, our health permits, we can follow all these austerities. Then chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and meditate on Krishna forms, qualities, pastimes. Daily chant extra rounds. Then keep celibacy for 1 month. Sleep on floor. Bathe daily before sunrise. Visit holy places at least 3 days in a month. Then fourth point, eat on leaf plates sitting on the floor. These are some of the tapasyas which help. That's why these acharyas mentioned. No cooking and oil or no rubbing of oil on your body. No rubbing or eating of mustard oil. Then seventh, eat sattvic food only. Best to eat once in a day, after sunset or noon. Then no cutting of hairs or nails. So this is also bracket mentioned that it's optional. Okay. Take a vow to remain peaceful and truthful throughout the month. So of course, always have to be peaceful and truthful, but especially we can follow this month. That's what Maharaj mentioned. Be careful not to blaspheme any devotees, brahmanas, saints, cows, shastras, or people who follow this vrata. So maybe this is very important. So we should not blaspheme any of these mentioned. And daily offer dandavats to Lord Sri Krishna and Vaishnavas. Daily after Artika and perform parikrama around Tulasi Devi. So generally we perform, but this month we get extra benefit by doing all this. Daily parikrama around the temple 4 times. Daily offer ghee lamp to Radha Krishna deities or picture. Daily offer flowers to Radha Krishna lotus flowers or tulasi leaves to the lotus feet of Krishna. Then try your best to please Radha Krishna by performing austerities according to your abilities. This is the intention or aim of all these whatever I mentioned here. So we have to please Radha Krishna more in this month by doing or by offering all these austerities. Daily read Bhagavatam, especially Lord uh, Balaram and Krishna, pastimes of Lord Balaram and Krishna. Thus, chapter Canto 10, chapter 14, and Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15. And then give charity as per your capacity to temples, Brahmanas, and Goseva. So then another two last points. Recommend to daily chant Sri Jagannatha Nanda Kastakam, Jaya Radha Madhav, other Radha Krishna bhajans and prayers. So Bhakti Thakur also mentions that Nirapeksha Vrata, which means 30 days of concentrated one point worship and service to Radha Krishna. So that means the the essence is we need to more focused and more determined towards our devotional service, not to waste time or not to talk unnecessary. So we can be more focused in month to get extra benefits. And also, Bhakti Thakur Maharaj also mentioned that hear Srimad Bhagavatam and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and take only Krishna Prasad. So these are the points, and now I request Vallabh Krishna Prabhu to add more on this. Hare Krishna.
ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकस्य चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विश्वदाय कृष्णभक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवान्वित प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय 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 गौरभक्तवृंद मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं सुपातमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुं दीनतारकं परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्य हरे कृष्णा। See, normally we perform vratas or different things like that because we want something. There are stories of how different kings or sadhus or they perform very intense, serious vratas because they want to please Brahma, and when Brahma comes, they want to ask him, please make me immortal, let me not die. Hiranyakashipu did that. Ravana did that. So when we are worshipping with some selfish motivation, it may not be the best thing to do. But Adhik Maas is different. Adhik Maas, or for that matter, Kartik Maas is different. We offer prayers, extra prayers, we do so many things because we know that in this month Krishna is inclined to give one of the best of the boons, benedictions, boons, one of the best. And what is the best? Obviously, the best is to develop bhakti for Krishna, develop intense devotion for Krishna. That is what we should ask for. Everything else will come and go, some money, some name, fame, beauty, youth, everything comes and goes. You can't do anything to hold on to it. Time's over, it will go. But bhakti is different. So whatever we are doing, we should understand that the best thing to ask for is more bhakti for Krishna. And of course, when we are connected to a parampara and we have a guru, we should ask that may I please be blessed so that I can serve my guru more nicely, serve my guru nicely, serve his mission nicely, serve him more unconditionally, serve him with more purity and enthusiasm. Actually, for a devotee, there is nothing other more sacred, more important, more precious, more valuable than making a prayer like this, saying, let me become more dedicated in the service of my guru, more unconditionally available. Let me become more trustworthy. Let me become more, what is the right word? More sincere, gentle, more available, like that, in the service of my guru, in the command of my guru. Actually, a devotee is not interested in the scriptures, which is the flowery language of the Vedas. Krishna also says, not interested. And he is thinking that here is my opportunity. Now I am connected with a bona fide parampara. I am a Guru. Guru has a mission, as it comes down from Lord Chaitanya's original command to make everybody in this world a devotee. My Guru has a mission. I somehow he, out of his causeless mercy, out of his love for, out of his compassion, and he has enabled me, he has connected me to Guru Parampara, he has accepted me as his disciple. Though I don't probably don't deserve it or have all the qualifications. So he has connected me, and the Guru, disciple is always thinking, I cannot repay this favor of my Guru. Prabhupada says the more you serve, the more indebted you become. It's very paradoxical. The more seva you do, the more indebted you become. Because ultimately the opportunity to do seva, the blessing, the empowerment, everything is given by your Guru. Your Guru is connecting you. So the more seva you do, more indebted you become. It's a kind of paradox. So the disciple is not interested. So here is 1 month where we can spend some time, additional time, thinking about ourselves, how far I am from that goal where I can unconditionally, lovingly serve my Guru and his mission. Unconditionally, lovingly, nicely serve my Guru and his mission. How far away I am. How many more lifetimes it will take to reach there. My Guru has given everything he has for me. Everything that he has given, and everything that I have has been given by my Guru only. Scripture is given by Guru. Explanation of the scripture the Guru gives. Opportunity Guru gives. Guru gives Diksha. Guru gives the mantra. Guru protects us. Guru gives, and the institution called Iskcon through which we are performing devotional service. Guru gives opportunity for service. Guru creates and expands service. Everything that we have is actually a gift by my Guru. So why can't I spend this 1 month more intensely thinking, how do I give back? At least attempt to give back to my Guru something. Whatever he has given me, why can't I use it in serving my Guru back? So don't mistake this month's intention. Everything that we do in the Adhik Maas should be to take it closer to Krishna and Guru. That is the only prayer we are giving. That is the only auspicious prayer that we can make. Other things, you don't worry, don't pray, it will come on its own. Don't pray. No need. You want some money, you want this. Krishna knows he will somehow sanction. He will somehow make it happen. You don't have to pray. It's like a loving father knows what his child wants. So father is already thinking, okay, my child is now 12, my child will become 13, then next year 14, I have to give a gift or something. According to her taste, his or her taste, let me figure out like that. So Krishna is like that, he will figure out what we need. Also, he figure out what is good for us. Not that everything you want he will give. He will give other things. But as a good son or a good daughter, we should say, to Krishna or Guru, we should say, how can I show my gratitude to you? Krishna, we should. How can I utilize the opportunity that you have given? So, vratas are meant to take you closer to Krishna, to make you more dedicated, to make you more, actually, to make you realize that there's nothing in this world worth pursuing other than Guru's instruction. So, 1 month you try that. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing in the world more important than pursuing my Guru's mission, Guru's instruction. You try that. We try that during this 1 month, more intensely focusing on Guru's mission, instruction. And then you start realizing that it's so nice to live like that. It's so nice, it's so joyful to live like that. And hopefully you will extend it beyond the Adhik Maas. So we try that kind of a life. Actually, many people in our Iskcon conference, they're writing. Whatever we are asking others to do, attend Mangalarti, chant extra rounds, lead a simple life. lead a simple life, uh, dedicate yourself more and more. It's normal for most of the serious devotees. We always get up from Avinati, we're always there in the temple, we're always doing something for Krishna. But for others, it's a nice opportunity to come every day for Mangalarti, to hear a Bhagavatam class, 30 days, 30 different people, so they get an opportunity to prepare for the Bhagavatam class. So then do some seva in the temple. So they are getting this chance to lead a life, a simple life, a glorious life, a life of purity, a life of dedication, a life of service. They're getting an opportunity, a life of you know what, a sacrifice also because they're putting aside so many other things during this now. So the spirit of this month is see how much closer you can become to Krishna.
Any we'll pause here for a moment. Any comments or any questions from the audience? We can pass on the mic to them. Yeah. Mohit, can you take the mic and help passing it on to everybody? Yeah. Prahlad. Yeah.
Mine was more of a different question, not related to any quality. So I heard that Purushottam month comes every 3 years. Is it true?
33 months.
Okay,
That
yeah.
is
So
little more than.
it comes like because of the lunar calendar, which has 27 days per month. So every year there is an extra month. No, every 3 years there is an extra month.
10 days at extra.
So we celebrate this because there is one out of 365 days. There are only 336 days covered in by the lunar calendar. So there is one extra month.
Yeah.
So
It happens once in 3 years.
how does this
Yeah,
happen
3 years.
every 3 years and not every year?
So the lunar calendar, which we just discussed in the beginning of the session here, the lunar year, that is moon, by the time it completes 12 revolutions around the earth, it takes 355 days. The sun, the earth to revolve around the sun takes 365, 10 days per year. In 3 years, you will get 30 days. That is around the time when you are getting, like the gap has come to 30 days, and so you make an extra month. Any other comment, question? No other comment. Okay. Oh. Sadanand Keshav Prabhu. So Mohit, you will be our mic Prabhu.
It was wonderful knowing about Purushottam and also the extra possibilities working. In my life, what happens is that whenever I do extra austerity that I take, later I tend to relax. For example, now you say per day, every austerity, for example, if I do one extra round, it is equal to 1,000. So I may relax after the work, I've done 1,000. If I take one day, so how do I overcome this kind of a mentality?
You see whether the benefit of chanting you is 1,000 times more, 100 times more, or 1,600 times more, whatever. You cannot say now that I've chanted for next 100 days I won't chant. Because our promise at the time we take Diksha is every day I chant 16 notes. So that we have to do. We may get additional benefit. That's bonus. Prabhupada said that's bonus that brings in new customers, whatever. But we have promised that we will chant 16 rounds at the time of initiation. That we will do. Actually, if the month Adhikamas is properly followed in the right spirit, it will have some kind of a hangover benefit rest of the time also. Because hopefully we'll get addicted to coming from Mangalarti. Hopefully we'll get addicted to chanting, if not the 15th chapter, maybe the next chapter, maybe all chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, one chapter at a time every day. Maybe we'll get an impetus to simplify our life, not go back to the old life. So it should have some kind of carry forward benefits also. When this month is done in a proper spirit, saying that, like I said, how can I strengthen my connection with my Guru's mission, with Krishna and my Guru's mission? This should be the fundamental prayer of a devotee disciple. And here is the time, here is the month in which I do it more intensely than the other months. More intensely. Like that. Okay.
Just to add to what Dr. Krishna said, I think you very well know the answers to Saran Prabhu, but we're just churning and trying to churn the nectar here. 2 points in addition here. Number one, the result of bhakti or performance of bhakti according to the Shastras is more bhakti. So if you chant one now, it doesn't mean that I'm done with it. It means want to do more. Because we know that, like Anantadev is praying, thousands of mouths are not sufficient for me to glorify the names of the Supreme Lord. So if you have chanted a little bit, or if you have served in a particular capacity, we would want to do more. The problem happens when, while doing any tapasya, internally in our mind, we keep ourselves at the center, not Krishna at the center. At that point in time, what happens is a self sympathy starts coming up. I have done so much. I have sacrificed so much for everybody. Nobody is bothering about me. Uh, so that is one problem. The root cause of it is me centeredness and not Krishna centeredness. So whenever we feel a sense of a lackadaisical attitude, we need to go and check for whom did I try to do this in the first instance? Was it something for me, or was it something for the devotees or the spiritual master or Krishna? And most likely, the lackadaisical thing will come that it is me focused. Because when we try to glorify our mind, our achievements, etc., invariably we will become slackened after some time because they are temporary. That's number one. The number two is we tend to take decisions unmindful of those who are around us or those for whom we have to live. We tend to take up engagements, neglecting sometimes our family and others, our family members, our community members, or sometimes our own physical needs, because we are in the mode of wanting to achieve. So when we take a tapasya, neglecting this, it creates an imbalance, and it is a way of Krishna telling us that look at where you are missing here. Others taking care of children, wife, friends, community, or having meaningful relationships with them is also a part of growth in Krishna consciousness. Take spending more, like say for example, I may say I may end up I will chant 128 rounds every day, but there are others around me who need their time with me, or better still, I may need something from them because I'm an individual with feelings and emotions. So not recognizing the level where we are and trying to act at a much higher level often leads to this problem that I have done too much. So we are being unnatural in where we are sometimes. So this is an indication to us that maybe we are doing something unnatural. Yep, that's it.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the kind discussion. From the same point which you mentioned about balance. So this month is more about personal sadhana, intensifying the devotion. Uh, Also, sometimes we get into this Kartik mode of wanting to reach out more people, inform about this message. So how do we balance between reaching out to more people and the personal sadhana?
I mean, I've heard some of our senior devotees, acharyas, gurus, that if we start focusing on things like I have to chant for 64 rounds, I have to chant this many rounds, etc. They were saying, then who do the preaching for? Who do the preaching? So if we chant our 16 rounds nicely, properly, and do some breathing, and the rest of the time is meant for service. Our sadhana is supposed to close by 9:30. Morning Mangalarti, 16 rounds, Darshanarti, Bhagavatam class, Prashadam, it's done. And the rest of the time is meant for teaching. So we should never forget that we are a missionary preaching on institution. We're always trying, looking for opportunities to preach, connect more people to Krishna. We are always trying. Make no mistake. That's our DNA. Our DNA is we are preachers. We want to preach. We want to connect more people. And as Adhikmas also, we look at it a bit like that. How many more people can I preach for Mangalarti? Or I'm going, can I do some carpooling? Can I inspire people? Can I talk to some people? Or can I keep a bit of prasadam for them? We are all about connecting more people to Krishna. And Krishna's, Lord Chaitanya's mission. If all of you are sitting and, yeah, come in the front, please. Come here. Hello, everybody. Come on, guests. One time, His Holiness Jagataka Maharaj asked Prabhupada, I am seeing everybody in Mayapur, they're attending the entire sadhana program so nicely, so carefully, so properly, with so much devotion. But by the time I finish my chanting, I attend Mangalarti, by the time I finish my chanting, I already have so many people waiting in front of my home. The very, very early days when Guru Maharaj was serving in Mayapur, already have so many people waiting for me to give them instructions, what they have to do today, what's pending, what different problems, labor, this one, contractor, so on and so on. So what do? I also want to come and sit in your classes. Guru mentions the Prophet told him that chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds and 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 then just simply go ahead and do what is required for constructing. Doesn't matter if you are not in a position to attend the rest of the program. And Prabhupada said, what do you think? Building Mayapur, doing a building here, building a facility here, building a temple here, you think it's any less than chanting or it's any less than attending the darshanarti or anything? No, it is equally sacred. It is equally sacred. Just go ahead and do. This facility you're creating will benefit hundreds of people for, 30, 40 years, 50 years, as long as Mayapur is there. So Prabhupada said that, saying, so we have to understand, we are a missionary preaching organization. We are not about, 64 rounds and no. On special days, Ekadashi, or like that. But that kind of austerity cannot come in the way of preaching opportunities. Preaching opportunities are extremely important. Because Adhikmas, I have to chant 64 hours, I have to read 2 hours of Bhagavatam. So, like that, I won't come to office or just leave me alone. No. Just as a mother or a wife cannot say that at home. You all, did you hear? You're supposed to eat only one time in a day. So don't trouble me, please. I also want to say, no, it doesn't work like that. Kids, don't try and tell them eat one time in a day. They'll flip out. It doesn't work like that. Actually, I'm very scared about such things. I don't want the focus to go on such things. Because Adhikmas means the only thing people will remember is, that's a month in which we eat one time in a day. No, that's not at all important. Adhika mas means do adhika bhakti. Adhika bhakti, his focus should never shift to these things. So we are a preaching missionary organization, and that's all we will do. We want to do. And whatever additional austerity, we try and finish as quickly as possible. Okay, once in a while we are doing 64 rounds on Ekadashi, everybody comes together, does a Japa marathon or something like that. But no, not every day. I actually, Prabhu told me before we came here, he told me that the emphasis should be on more outreach programs in Adhika months and not on focus on, like for example, here in our temple we are trying to do 30 days, 30 people. Every day we do anyway. Every day. But in different localities and we'll drag the congregation members from there. Suppose I go to Hormao, then I'll inform the Hormao devotees. All the Hormao devotees can join. Kalyan Nagar or RS Palia or wherever I go, I'll drag the local devotees there to come and join and participate in Nagar Kirtan. 30 days, 30 different speakers for Bhagavatam. 30 days, 30 different singers for Shayanarti, Chaurashtakam, different things. So it is on, temple will be a platform where different people will be pulled in. 30 different groups will sing Gopi Geet or whatever, like that. So that's our mood. We want to use this to give people a taste of what it means to preach also. Lead a kirtan, to preach, to prepare, give a class, more outreach program. We are having a special edition of Secrets of Gita Revealed. So we are focusing, we are trying to enroll as many people as possible and trying to say that a special edition of SJ and Purushottam Adhikamas, maybe we'll get extra people, maybe we'll get more people. The focus of the temple will be in supporting, facilitating expansion of preaching. How does expansion of preaching happen? When all of us take the missionary spirit seriously. Hare Krishna.
Mohit?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I have a very random question to ask. I think most of the people may have this question. So I need to ask that if by mistake, knowingly or unknowingly, we do Vaishnava fast, so how do we rectify it?
Um, please have the mic with you for a moment. Can you give the mic back? Can you tell me, in your understanding, what is Vaishnava Prajna?
So Vaishnava fast as per me is like if a senior devotee or guru, spiritual guru, who is a Vaishnava, is telling me something and I'm not like obeying him or having some thoughts different thoughts
Hmm.
or not being in line with him.
Hmm. Okay. I hear this word Vaishnava Aparadh very, very often, and everybody has their own understanding of Vaishnava Aparadh. So, one understanding is like what you said. Vaishnava Aparadh, people say somebody says something like, and I don't follow. Some another definition which people come up. I'm not saying it's a right. I'm just expressing different understanding. Another Vaishnava Aparadh is if I blaspheme or if I speak ill of a devotee, that is Vaishnava Aparadh. Number two, etc. Actually, the whatever you said now that suppose a Vaishnava says something to be done and we are unable to do it for there are layers here. There is something called as Hridaya Daurbalyam, the weakness of the heart. Many times we do not have the strength and the conviction and the intention to go all the way to follow what a Vaishnava says. And within a Vaishnava relationship, there is enough room for discussion. Sometimes we may agree, we may not agree. And so what happens is we close our mind in saying that if that Vaishnava says it, either I have to follow it or if I speak something, it's Vaishnava aparadh. Let me run away from it and not follow. That is a problem. That is an escapist mentality. True Vaishnava aparadha is, the definition as per the scriptures is, when I try to decrease the value of that devotee's connection to his guru and Krishna, and the value Krishna or guru has to the devotee. If you go through the list of all the Vaishnava aparadhas, it is all about having, there are great devotees like Lord Shiva. I'm considering him as a supreme Lord instead of him being a Lord Shiva. There is a devotee who has some value, and I consider him not to have enough value. That is Vaishnava aparadha. But we confuse our problems with Vaishnava aparadha. So first and foremost is have an open relationship. Do not feel that asking a question or expressing one's limitations and inabilities is aparadha. That is not aparadha. So the example that you can have right from Shastra is when Lord Ramachandra was asked to go to the forest by Mother Kaikeyi. Lakshmana came first and said, "If you are going, I am also going." Now Lord Ramachandra said no. Now this is the Supreme Lord Himself. Once Lord Ramachandra says no, Lakshmana should have also said stop, right? But no, he went on to plead again and again. Lord Ramachandra said no multiple times. Then Mother Sita also says, I want to come. Even Sita, it would be an aparadh for Sita also, right? That she's not obeying Lord Ramachandra. She also asked multiple times. And then finally Lord Rama acquiesced. And then when uh, Lakshmana saw that Mother Sita asked and Lord Ramachandra said yes, then he understood. The dynamic is a little different. So he fell at the feet of Rama, looked at Mother Sita, and said, can you please provide a recommendation to Lord Ramachandra to allow me? Right? So this dynamic means there is a conversation with a devotee, and maybe there's another devotee whose help we may need. And some many times people are looking to see how serious we are in what we want to do. So that's not Vaishnava Aparadha here. Having discussion is not Vaishnava Aparadha. Now, many times the question is not whether we are committing Vaishnava Aparadha. The problem actually is if anybody dare question me, they are doing Vaishnava Aparadha against me. That is the real problem. Because the center is mostly we are the center actually. This is what is called as narcissism. That is, we are the center, nobody else is as good as us. Before we think we are doing Vaishnava Aparadha, let us be tolerant of others. Let us be open to have a conversation. I agree that this is tough for you. Can we work out this way? Then we become a society of peers. It is important to have a society of peers. The next step after that is we are all peers, but he or she has an aspiration. And this is in line with Shastra. How can I help him? How can I go out of my comfort zone? That is far better than being caught in this aparad consciousness. We have to be Krishna conscious, not aparad conscious. So the key difference here is identifying like a Paramahamsa, when this person is speaking, what they are saying, this is in line with Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. This is in line with the desire of their Guru. This is how they are trying to please their Guru. Appreciate that aspect and then see how I can be an instrument for this person to help. And in relation to others, don't put ourselves in the center. And one way to do it here is voluntarily going about and asking them, can I do something for you? Even for people, like say for example, you introduce a person during the Adhikamas to others. It's not like thinking they are newcomers, I am a senior person, let me go and give my association to them. That shouldn't come. Krishna has inspired something in their heart. Let me try to do something for them. That mood, bringing in that mood will be helpful. Prabhu, would you like to please allow?
Yeah. Krishna, this is a mega topic, but basically to summarize, in addition to what you said so nicely, I want to say that see sometimes Vaishnava happens out of anger, out of frustration, out of envy, out of unwillingness to accept somebody's success or like that, and also when we think that the person is not sufficiently respecting me, sufficiently respecting, glorifying, appreciating me, or whatever. So, a combination of all these things are there. Vaishnava means we are knowing fully well that what I am saying or what I am doing will inflict pain in the other person, I still do it. It will inflict pain, etc. Vaishnava also means that uh, when it is absolutely no need or not necessary or there is any, I still go about talking ill about somebody, especially when they are not there. Because I want to spoil his goodwill or reputation or anything. So such premeditated activities aimed at harming somebody, hurting somebody, causing pain to somebody, highlighting someone's fault. Oh, you didn't know? This is what he did. Come on, be careful with this guy. Oh, there is no need to talk like that. So, in a premeditated manner, trying to harm someone's reputation, not trying to recognize that someone is trying to reform himself, grow or something. So, Vaishnava Aparadha means premeditated intention to harm, hurt, belittle, insult, humiliate, etc. That is dangerous. These are very dangerous activities. Sometimes, of course, out of anger, we say something that may become an aparadha if we don't make amends. You've shown anger with someone, you've shown anger, you've been unreasonable. Very unreasonable, you've shown anger, you've shouted at somebody. That may become an aparadha if you don't make amends. Don't make amends means go back to that person and say, I'm very sorry, I shouldn't have done that. It was pretty unfair. I had a bad day. I was angry about something and I showed it out to you. Kindly forgive me. Uh, uh, make amends. Kindly forgive me. I hope you understand. I hope you'll be large-hearted enough to forgive me. So kindly forgive me. So we have to make amends. You can't do it yourself sometimes because you've hurt somebody real bad. Take somebody's help. Take someone's help and please request a good doctor to that person. Him or her. Saying, I must fully take responsibility for my action. I'm sorry, I should have done that. I somehow allowed it to happen. I'm sorry. You can't do that, at least write to that person. If you can't have a face to face, sit down and say you're sorry. No. And what shall I say? An unresolved Vaishnava aparadha is dangerous. You know what I mean? You've offended somebody, you know about it, you're not doing anything about it. You're not making amends. You're not doing prayashchitta. You're not apologizing. You're not. On the other hand, you're trying to justify, support, or rationalize your behavior as dangerous. Sometimes you may not have the intention to hurt. Like, for example, someone will make a comment about somebody's physical appearance. Oh, you become fat, you become thin. For you, it may be a very casual thing, but for that other person, it may be body shaming. He or she may feel you're body shaming someone. So we have to be careful. And if that person is deeply hurt, what was the need for him or her to comment on my body? If that person feels, then there is an impact on one's spiritual life. One has to go and make amends. An unresolved Vaishnava aparadha is dangerous because well, unresolved for what reason? Because you don't care for that person, you don't care that you hurt that person, you're not bothered. That is very dangerous, extremely dangerous. So part of being a Vaishnava is being very gentle and careful. And always ready to accept our fault and apologize. So, by the way, it is specifically mentioned in this Adhikama's Purushottam month fast. We should stay away from gossip. We should stay away from thoughts or people in our mind also who incite in us negative feelings. That means dislike, pain, hurt. Try not to think about them during this month. You feel bitter about what he or she has done to you, etc. Try not to think about such people. Or if you think about such people, this is the best month to say, Krishna kindly bless me. Krishna kindly bless me. Like that. So this month is definitely not for commenting on somebody or trying to hurt somebody. Actually, that's how we have to live. This is a good month to try and live like that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah. So actually, I had this question you explained nicely, and I have a question like chanting quality means how can we improve? Actually, generally when chanting, mind once here and there, even though I determine to chant 6 or 1 hour without music, but sometimes I mind once here and there. How can we overcome it?
Hare Krishna. As mentioned, I read that we have to see the quality as well as the quantity in this month. So quality is very important. As Srila Prabhupada mentioned that how to maintain the quality in the chanting. So, because as we know, the mind is very fickle. It's just give a chance, it will go off. So that's why we focus on the sound vibration sound. That's why we have to chant, not like within the not coming in, making any sound. We have to chant at least minimum sound Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This whatever the sound we are making, we have to focus our mind on the sound. So there is less chances that our mind go away. So still it is go away. So again we have to bring it back. So there is no any other ways. This is the one way, as Srila Prabhupada mentions. And sometimes Prabhupada also mentions that better you focus on Krishna form. So when we chant, so that little higher version, but little difficult, better we focus on the sound. And to support this chanting or focus on the mind, so better we sit if alone in the room, or better chant at the with the devotees. So that is better because everybody chanting, our conscious says all that everybody seriously chanting, also has to seriously chant. And suppose if you are chanting alone at home, better we turn on Prabhupada's as chanting box. So aligned with the chant, so all these things will help us to focus our mind. So this comes when we chant more and more. Hare Krishna.
Just to add to Pratyartha Prabhu's reply, um, the quality of our hearing and the quality of our contemplation impacts the chanting the next day. The quality of what we interact with others in one day also impacts our chanting the next day. The quality of what we eat also, or how much we eat, when we eat, also impacts. So it is but natural for the mind to go here and there because it's an untrained mind. But say, for example, like how Vardhakrishna was saying, by mistake, the previous day we just shouted at somebody. And then we understand from the scripture that we are not supposed to be shouting at others because they are just playing off of the notes of their nature. Maybe. Or maybe I was playing off of my nature. Then what to do? We become remorseful. Then how can Krishna accept me? And then we can go through the one, like say this verse of Bhagavatam. Aho bakiyam sthanakala kotam jugam sayapayayat apyasadvi debhe gatim datri uchitam tatonyam kamvadayalum sharanam prajema. In this verse, the third canto, Uddhava is describing Krishna as who is more merciful than Krishna? That even a lady who came to poison him and breastfeed him there, he gave liberation even to that. He made her as his own nurse in the spiritual world. Oh, my dear Krishna, you allowed Putana there. but can you not? Can you please forgive me for what I did? And in that mood, we chant. And in some other day, we might have seen a wonderful deities. We come and see Gandharvika Girdhar, their wonderful crown, and then we may relish it. And then we can go back in the scripture and read Varha Peedam Natavaravatu Karnayo Karnikar. Like you have this wonderful peacock feather, etc. Different moods from the scriptures. We have to take it. Or we hear from a lecture something and there's one small sentence that was heard. And keeping that in mind, we chant. Or we can read the book on Japa by Burjin Prabhu and others and chant. So it is important to take aids. That's the point I'm saying here. It is natural for the mind to go forward, and as Satyatran was saying, one of the aids is Prabhupada's chant japa, or your own spiritual master's japa, or what Krishna has given Bhagavatam, some statement which Srila Prabhupada has given. Connect to it. So active hearing and reading is very essential for quality japa. And last question here, we will end here with Somshekhar.
Thank you very much for the clarification. Um, Observation, comment, and perhaps a question in between. And if there's anything that I feel wrong or question, please give me. So, from my understanding, I understand that the true spirit behind all of this is actually, as already highlighted, is to move closer to Guru, move closer to Krishna. And when you do your sadhana, when you do your chanting, keep Lord Krishna in your heart rather than yourself. So that is the core fundamental principle behind all that we do. But the methods and principles that are involved, this is why I'm moving to dangerous territory and ask for forgiveness and blaspheming or something like that. But I think some of these concepts saying that you get 5,000 times more benefit, 1 million times more benefit, are just methodologies which have evolved and really did not any take place in the sense of anyone approaching anyone saying, I've been neglected. But rather, that is the only way perhaps in which you incentivize, people like us saying, you'll get this, therefore go do chanting. You'll get 5,000 times more benefit, therefore go do chanting. So I feel that that is just a methodology that has been evolved. Perhaps if you look at the Chaturmasya, it also comes during a period in the agricultural season when farmers are least occupied. That's where they become more dangerous. And idle mind is the devil's workshop. So perhaps these are just instruments evolved to tell them this is the time when you got to better spend your time more in this area. And whereas the real true meaning is that actually every second, every minute of the human life is precious. It's a gift given to you to engage in Krishna consciousness. But if you don't, at least, this is something where you can get to that point. So this is what I tend to interpret as not.
Like what you said, this is very, this is with respect to Chaturmas. Shri Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranam Tulyam Rama Nama Varadane. You take 1,000 names of Vishnu, but you tell Rama Nama 3 times, it's equal to 1,000 names of Vishnu. Then you take the next level. One name of Krishna is equal to 3 names of Ramchandra. Are we trying to measure Vishnu is equal to, Rama is equal to 3x Vishnu, Krishna is equal to 3x, Rama, etc. When Shastra speaks about these kind of numbers, especially with respect to Vishnu Tattva, it is to indicate a sense of higher rasa. There is a rasa that is higher, but that doesn't mean those who want that particular rasa are, uh, are at a lower level. There are some who would wish to be there. Like I'm taking your question to the next level itself here. But then coming back to this point of the additional months, the word that you used was incentivize. If nobody is following it in other months, at least in this month, yes, incentivization has been a consistent feature of our scriptures, primarily because Baddha jivas, conditioned souls, have a fundamental problem. They cannot endeavor for spiritual path consistently, continuously. Give them something. And therefore, within the system, which is within the astronomical system, etc., some time is given. At least now, I will give you some additional mercy. Do something, and or even if you do this much, I'll get more. True. This is actually the kripa shakti or the mercy feature of the Supreme Lord, that if you cannot do consistently, still do at least some time and move along in life. Yes, that's my understanding. Prabhu, you can please correct.
येन केन प्रकारेण मनः कृष्णे निवेश्यते. So utility is the principle. The proper is the point we have set. So you see, somehow or other, some means or other, appreciate people, thank them, um, encourage them when they go to the next level of surrender, when they go to the next level of service, when they go to the next level of etc. So it happens at all points of time, at all points of time, means at all levels, this kind of thing is there. Not just that if you do something in Adhik Mass, you get more. If you show more sincerity, you get more empowerment. So at the back, behind all this is the principle of empowerment. The more dedicated you are, the more sincere, the more hardworking, the more selfless you are. That means for you, Guru's mission, Krishna, scripture is more important than anything else. The more selfless you are, to that extent you're being empowered. You're constantly being, you're evolving. So there is some kind of an incentive system built into the process of bhakti, inseparably built into it. And the highest level of empowerment is, Krishna takes you back to the spiritual world and says, all right, now you're done with that. Come to me. Come back to me. Or the highest level of empowerment in the material world is when your guru is so, shall I say, so hard, so so appreciative of your sincerity. He says, all right, now you become the guru after me. So there is empowerment. Now, what you say is incentivizing. Probably I would use a different word for saying you will be empowered. The more sincere you are, the more empowerment you get directly from Guru, from Krishna. Sincere devotees. Sanjay was sitting along with Dhritarashtra. Sanjay, Vyasadeva blessed him. He said, "My dear disciple, you are such a wonderful disciple. You sit here. I bless you so that you can see what's happening in Kurukshetra." So that's empowerment at work. So he empowered Sanjay. Sanjay was sitting and describing all the events of Kurukshetra to the Rashtra. So I'm not saying we keep that as a goal. Goal is I want to be empowered, hence I'm doing this. I want the incentive part, hence I'm doing. No. We don't think anything beyond what is satisfying or pleasing to the Guru. And it's entirely up to the Guru's discretion to engage us in whatever manner he likes, whatever way he likes, in whatever fashion he likes. It's entirely in the Guru's hands. So there is the two things go together. How sincere you are, to that degree you're empowered. To that degree you become pure. So there is for us the ultimate incentivizing or incentive for us is when will the day come and I have no place in my heart for anything other than Krishna. I have no place in my heart for anything other than my Guru's service. I have no place or interest for my relatives or this Mukungamala Kulashekara or sings that. So when will that day come when I will have nothing else to do other than worshipping Lord Krishna or following my Guru's instructions or something to that effect. So that is what we are aiming for. And we try it intensely for a month called Adhik Maas. Adhik Maas we try, like they say in Chaturmas, Kartik Maas, we don't do anything very material. Ekadashi we don't, generally we say we don't do Guru Pravesh, we don't do it. That day is meant dedicated for serving Krishna Vishnu. Say we the whole month we try and live as a servant of my Guru, completely dedicated servant of my Guru. We try and live like that and see what it means to live like that. So there is There is empowerment, there is additional purity that we get by our sincerity, consistency, determination, by how clear-headed we are. But what is our goal? I'm not saying you have achieved it, but at least our goal should be clear. And I want to become very dedicated to my Guru's mission, or something like that. It's a bona fide goal like that, Krishna. 1 month we should try living like that. If you look at all the what is prescribed, 1 month we should try living. I mean, the most important thing is, please don't understand that most important thing is sleeping on the floor or eating one time. No, if you do all that and you're not moving closer to Krishna, what's the big deal there? So the most important thing is read the book, 15th chapter, sing the Chaurashikam, chant extra rounds, no material activities. Focus on how to become a better devotee, more surrendered, more dedicated, more humble, more simple. Keep these things out of mind. Don't think about somebody who agitates you, who's causing anxiety or pain or something in your mind. Keep that away until that becomes the way you live. Until that becomes the way you live. Until that becomes what you are. I hope I don't know if I can make it clear. Until that becomes, that standard of life becomes what you are.
In the interest of time, because we have a few programs, so let's. I request everybody to sit down. There is important announcements. Firstly, Shri Gandharvika Giridhari Sriman Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Very, very warm welcome to everybody for this morning Sunday program. These days we've been hearing politicians talking about double engine. Shri Giridhari organized triple engine for us. Haribol, big Haribol to all the speakers today. I'm sure each one of you enjoyed it. It was a nice talk for you. Thank you very much. They constantly see how we can be engaged, how we can be nicely, all the questions can be solved. Thank you very much. Very, very, very important. More seva we do, the more we become interested. Something I really like. So, can we say thank you? How loudly we can do it? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We will get some time to span discussion for some shlokas also, so it would be very good. Thank you very much. So, as always, we move on to the announcements. Today was entire class itself was announced, and we all know what we need to do for the next whole month. But coming for the normal announcements which we do, there was a huge team in the dining hall and the kitchen. So whenever there's a large team, we know who's cooking. There are the chefs. So they're tirelessly from morning making a huge feast, right? So can we chant once 3 times Gauranga for the entire team? Gauranga! 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 It's a bit unfair to only call out the cooking team. Actually, these days there is a beautiful service which, thanks to all the seniors, plate washing is also being introduced. So Radha Gopinath Circle gets that, and I wonder how Govindji has to make their arrangement because it's a large feast. So to all the circles and to our leader who is engaging all the circle leaders so that the teams fully involved on a Sunday. We look forward to coming to a Sunday because we can get service. So can we all chant Govinda for all the circle leaders and their teams? Govinda! 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 So I was told there is a nice student of the village, Murari Madhav Prabhu, who has done a lot of program. Maybe you can just come and help us in the gardening. Maybe he's going back to student.
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇವತ್ತು ವಿಶೇಷ ನನ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಯನ್ನ ಪರಿಚಯ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ. ಇಸ್ಕಾನ್ ನರಸಿಂಹಗಿರಿಧಾರಿ ಮಂದಿರ ಉದ್ಯಾನ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ವಿನ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನ ಪಡಿತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ರೋಗಗಳು, ಕೀಟಗಳು, ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಕಳೆ, ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೋಷಕಾಂಶಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ಭೀಮಕುಮಾರ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಈ ಭಕ್ತ ಭೀಮಕುಮಾರನ ಜೋರನ್ನು ಪಡೆದ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ದಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತಂತ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು ಭಗವಂತನ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ತೊಡಗಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ತಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಇದೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ, ಒಂದು ಮಾದರಿ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಂದಿರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಅನುಕೂಲಗಳು, ಸಹಾಯಗಳು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನನ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭೀಮ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಶ್ರೀಮನ್ ವರದಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿಯವರು, ಮಂದಿರದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಇವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸನ್ಮಾನದ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಕ್ತರು ಇವರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಮಹಾಮಂತ್ರ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ 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 ಹರೇ ಹರೇ, ಹರೇ ರಾಮ ಹರೇ ರಾಮ 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 ಹರೇ ಹರೇ. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ನನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬ ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿ ಚಂದನ ಅನಂಜಯ್ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಬರಬೇಕು. ನನ್ನ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಕಾಣಿಕೆ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದವನ್ನು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಚಂದನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಕ್ತರು ನನ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Hare Krishna, last pronouncement, Gurma Rati Shanti. This Tyagarajan and Shanti is mentioned in English. Read on the entire landscape, gardening. So for those who, Hare Krishna, they sponsored this, it was their 70th birthday, they spent it in Bhakti Balaji temple with their homa. They are sponsoring today's Purushottam. So please let's all chant for them once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you for the marketing.
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ಉದ್ಯಾನ, ಗಾರ್ಡನ್, ಕಿಚನ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್, ಟೆರೆಸ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಹೂವಿನ ಗಿಡಗಳು, ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಕೂಡ ನನ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಬಹುದು. ಅವರ ನಂಬರ್ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Any devotees want kitchen garden, terrace garden, or any other service related to planting, our plants or any other thing, can please contact my student Iskcon and I will share his number. So you can please
As a co-sponsor for today's Purushottam, Brigade from his father. Okay, their family also sponsored for today's Purushottam. Lot of people are standing here. Can we all sit down? Hare Krishna, near the gate. Please walk in, please sit down. You will hear.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಮುಂದೆ ಇರೋರೆಲ್ಲ. Everybody kindly sit down. Those devotees standing in front of the altar kindly sit down. ಆಚೆ ಇರೋರೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳಗೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಗೋಪಿಗೆ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಶುಡ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್. ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ. So what is the sequence? Gopi Geet and Chaurashtami. And then Hare Krishna. ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. Sit down.
Prasadam is not going to be served now, so all of you can enjoy these two songs.
Those who are outside, devotees, you can call all of them. Personally, I somehow feel Gopi Geet, Chaurashtakam, everybody in the temple should attend without exception. Okay? Gopyaha uchuhu Jayati te dikha Janmana vraja Jayata indira Everybody lovely. Everybody, let's go ahead, let's go ahead. श्री गोपी गीत की श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन नृसिंहगिरिधारी मंदिर भक्त वृंद सौराष्ट्र में
Very good.
no, let it come here. And the group is also.
Hare Krishna. Now we'll try to fight this Taurashtakam. Some of you know the tune of this, some of you are yet to learn how to pronounce this. So we completed like 4 themes, like 6 verses actually. We have 2 more verses which we have to learn to write carefully. And the meaning, let's go with it. First, we will go with reciting the first 4 verses. All of us together will recite the first 4 verses, and then we'll go with repeating it. Okay? Let's sing together the first 4 verses. Together, all of us together.
व्रजे प्रसीदं नवनीतचोरं प्रियनामापि भरतश्रेष्ठं प्रसारानपि मापराशिरम् आश्चर्यरूपो ननु जागते विश्वश्रुतो माया
धनं च मानं च इंद्रियाणि प्राणांश्च धृत्वा मम सर्वं एव. So Guru Mangal Thakur says, Krishna, you have taken my dhana, my wealth. You have taken my honor, mana, other indriyani, even my senses. In the panel discussion a few minutes ago, one of the devotees asked the question, what is the Vaishnava Avatar? It so happens, Vaishnava Avatar, in one sense, is a unique way for Krishna to make us lose our mana. We first, out of our anger or something, we insult a devotee, and then Krishna brings us to our knees and he makes us plead to the devotees, makes us plead to Krishna. I have lost my taste for chanting the holy name. You please help me to come back. We go and beg to the devotees. And then we are no longer the same person who, with a lot of pride in our abilities, in our background, etc. All that mana is gone. So that's what Krishna does to us. He takes away our mana. And if he does that, he does something else. Padaya say Putra Datogi Pustola, Vam Bhakti Dhamnasi Mai. He comes and stays in our heart. So Dhanam is gone, Manam is gone. And then he makes us even attract Indriya. Even we are no longer attracted to those things which we had done before. But then Bhakti Dhamnasi Maya Nirvita. The moment we start having value for devotion to him, he becomes interested in the heart. That's the kind of this shower, this thief does get imprisoned. But when we freely let go of the dhanam samadhi, when circumstances happen, we should be ready to let go of it because we are getting greater. So let's recite the first two lines 2 times, the next 2 lines 2 times, and then the entire verse twice.
धनं च मानं च गतिन्द्रियाणि प्राणं च देवा मम सर्वमेव धनं च मानं च गतिन्द्रियाणि प्राणं च देवा मम सर्वमेव
Which we discussed last week. Chinatsi ghoram yamapasha bandham, vinatsi bhimam bhavapasha bandham, chinatsi sarvasya samasta bandham, naivatmano bhakta kritam tu. The translation of this verse. You cut the chinatsi, chinam is to cut. Ghoram, it is very fierce, yamapasha bandham, which is the bandha, the knot of Yamaraj. It is very fierce because try what you can, or whatever we can. We just cannot get out of it unless and until we have Krishna. That is the tough thing. Vinatsi bhimam bhava pasha bandham. power, the material existence also has a pasha, as a rope, which binds us very strong. Chinasi Tapasya, Samasta Bandham. You smash every Samasta Bandham, all the material bondage. Who does this? Krishna. Chinati, he cuts everything. And then, but one thing Krishna cannot cut. Naivat Mano Bhakta Kritam Tu Vrindam. He cannot cut this bhakti which is there in one's heart. This is Krishna's benediction to us. The more and more we develop our loving attitude of service to Krishna, that just grows. So let Vinodini sing the first two lines once, and all of you follow twice after that. Similarly, she sing the next two lines once, and you follow twice. Then all of us together will sing it, the entire verse twice.
Chinnatsi ghoram yamakashabandham Chinnatsi deepam bhavapashabandham Chinnatsi ghoram Chinnatsi ghoram One more time.
Next verse. Man manase tamasa rashi gore. My manasa, in my heart, tamasa is very dark. In that rashi, in that mind or my eternal consciousness of my karagare dukha maye vivasana. I have imprisoned you in this miserable prison house of my heart, which is very fearful due to the terrible darkness of my ignorance. And there for a very long time, the Lord has said, Krishna, you will remain. This is the appropriate punishment for your crime. So, the Acharya or the Guru or the great devotee, he is giving punishment to Krishna. Say, you are the one who took everything from me. Now I am going to keep you in my heart. It is another way of saying, thank you very much for coming in my heart. It's a different way. So, Lavasva He Chaura Hare Shiraya. So, Chaurya Doshotikam Eva Nanda. This is the mood of reciprocation which we have in Krishna. We have our Acharya saying that we need to go over the way to Krishna praying. Why? Because Krishna reciprocates in this way. He allows us to be imprisoned in our heart. That's the sweetness of Krishna. So let us sing this song here. First, let's sing the entire verse twice. But let's sing the entire verse once and then all of you sing twice.
Manmanase tamasarashi ghore karagrahe dukkamaye vikata nabhasahe jana hare chidaya patora dosho kitane vananda Manmanase tamasarashi ghore
The last verse is in a different view. Karagrahe Vasasada Hridaye. Karagrahe Vasasada Hridaye Madiye. Madiye, my Karagrahe. In the prison house of my heart, Hridaye. My Bhakti Pasha Srida Bhanta Nishcharaha. The doors of my devotion remain forward side. We continue to recite this prison house of my heart because I will not release you for millions of ages. From Krishna है प्रलय कोटि शतांतरे until pralaya, even thousands of koti shatantare, crores of pralaya may happen. Sarvasya chaura hridayam nahi mochayami, na mochayami. I will not release you from my hridaya. Oh Sarvasya chaura, the one who steals everything from everybody. That's the extent to which Krishna gives power to his devotees. And we have to be happy when we see such devotees like Guru Mangal Thakur and our Acharya having Krishna in their heart. So let's listen to this. After this song, we will have a stotra. During the month of Purushottam, every evening we will have the name of the song. For those of you who would like to sing the song, please contact your circle leaders and they will give us the name to the Bhakti. And those who are not part of any circle, if the one who's singing, you can go and speak to her and she will take a sample of your voice. Then sing for the pleasure of the deity every day. Please come and join every day in the evening.
काराग्रहे वस सदा हृदये मदीये काराग्रहे वस सदा हृदये मदीये. All of you together. काराग्रहे वस सदा हृदये मदीये मद्भक्ति पाश दृढ़ बंधन निश्चलासन भक्ति पाश दृढ़ बंधन निश्चलासन त्वां कृष्ण हे प्रलय कोटि शतान्तरेति त्वां कृष्ण हे प्रलय कोटि शतान्तरेति. One more time. त्वां कृष्ण हे प्रलय कोटि शतान्तरेति सर्वस्व चौर हृदयान् न विमोचयामि. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. All of you together. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. सौराष्ट्रम की गुरु मंगल ठाकुर की प्रभुपाद की